Illejla. It-tieni parti tar-rapporti dwar l-industrija tas-sess Maltija.
Some of the money that we got were people's like annual wages that we were getting in 1 or 2 months.
Għandna ammont ta' persuni illum il-ġurnata Maltin li qegħdin kważi fil-faxxa għolja ta' OnlyFans.
There's a big market for foot content.
Il-ħsara ssir għax dejjem iridu iktar.
Il-fenomenu OnlyFans. Dawk li qed jgħixu minn fuq il-pornografija.
So, Jordan, you're the island porn star.
That's what they say.
OnlyFans is pretty much what pays my bills.
We got offered 15,000 euros.
U dawk b'appell għal diskussjoni sesswali nazzjonali.
Tfal ta' 9-8 snin qed jaċċessaw il-pornografija.
One aspect is our inability to speak about
Ma
sex.
rridux impenġu din xena perfetta li l-ħaddiema tas-sess online, il-ħaddiema tas-sess li jbieħu s-sess fiżiku mhumiex stigmatizzati.
I would only ever do what I felt comfortable doing.
Ħajjithom tiġi dipendenti fuq dawn in-nies. Allura inti m'għandekx fil-verità għażla u vuċi biex titkellem.
Fl-ewwel parti tal-programm dwar l-industrija tas-sess trattajna l-prostituzzjoni u x-xejriet lejn swieq ġodda, inkluż dawk elettroniċi.
Nistgħu nħossu huwa x-shift illi kellna il-moviment lejn iktar industrija tas-sess ibbażata online.
Illum minn għalina avvanzajna minn flok qed inpoġġu n-nies fuq is-siti elettroniċi u qed nixtruhom b'mod differenti. Minn flok qed nagħmluhom ġo pjazza qed nagħmluhom behind the screen.
Iżda l-industrija tas-sess hija ferm aktar wiesa minn hekk.
Meta nitkellmu fuq ħaddiema tas-sess u l-industrija tas-sess iridu nżommu f'moħħna li mhuwiex grupp omogenju. Sex worker hija dik ukoll illi qiegħda taħdem ġo Gentlemen's Club. Dik ukoll li qed tagħmel pornografija. Fejn jidħol l-industrija tas-sess online, rajn iktar nies li qed jagħmlu l-coming out tagħhom, il-coming out bħala sex workers, nies li mhux qed jiddejqu juru wiċċhom, għandna ammont ta' persuni illum il-ġurnata Maltin li qegħdin kważi fil-faxxa għolja ta' OnlyFans.
Filli kienet pjattaforma website għal-ftit f'Salt saret fenomenu mondjali.
OnlyFans has 150 million users worldwide.
Fastest growing website during the COVID-19 pandemic.
OnlyFans hija website li fuqha kulħadd jista' joħloq kontenut bħal ritratti u filmati, iżda li huma aċċessibbli biss għal dawk li jħallsu forma ta' abboniment fix-xahar jew inkella ħlas ta' darba. Bil-website tista' tieħu sa 20% tal-qlieħ. Għalkemm tintuża l-skopijiet differenti bħal tissir u mużika, is-suċċess tagħha huwa mertu għal pornografija. Biex nifhem aħjar, iltqajt ma' Jordan Gregg li ftit ta' xurilu flimkien ma' l-eks sieħba tiegħu bena paġna u beda jippubblika filmati pornografiċi.
Initially, it wasn't something I wanted to do. It wasn't something I felt I needed to do, but the relationship that I was in and falling in love, it kind of just took me in that direction. I tried to look at it from a business point of view, and I thought it would give us the funds to potentially do the things that we want to do a lot quicker. You know, some of the money that we got were people's like annual wages that we were getting in 1 or 2 months. So, yeah, for me, I just looked at the bigger picture. I was willing to sacrifice my my image or my morals for the sake of progressing in life. I just took it for what it was. I basically wasn't known for anything, and now I was going out and having people ask for photos and stuff. It was like a surreal moment the first time that ever happened as well. When they asked me for a photo, I was like, with who? It's like, with you. I said, why? They was like, you're the island porn star. I was like, all right, then come on, let's go. So yeah, I mean, I without lying, I kind of enjoyed the attention. I was aware that there was a negative and a positive side of things. But yeah, overall, like, without lying, I do and still do enjoy being known for that and spoke about, and it doesn't bother me whether it's negative or positive.
What about your family and friends? Were you a bit...
Yeah, that was the hardest thing for me to accept. I've got a lot of respect for my family as well, especially my mum. Like, I'm very open and honest with her about everything that I do, including this, but I didn't expect for her to physically see what I'm doing, you know. That for me was a little bit of a low blow. It did hurt, but I've got a good mum and we spoke through it, and she supports all my decisions.
And what do you make of these negative reactions we've been seeing on social media every time there's something about you or
yeah, I expect it. Like I said, the people that know me personally, I don't think they have much negative to say about me. But I feel like looking from an outside perception, like it is easy to have a negative perception of me. And, you know, I accept it as well. It's just part of the job. I mean, if it's going to affect you too much, I wouldn't recommend going down this route. You've got to be a bit strong-skinned, bit thick-skinned, you know, so.
Do you think you would have got the same reaction if you did porn in the UK?
No, it wouldn't have. No one would have cared. No one would have cared. Like, the only people that would have cared were the people that knew me directly, because the reason why we done so well was because everyone knew who Shiley was because I was starting to get known, and that was like, everyone just wanted to see that. Because the truth is, if we went on OnlyFans and we was like, right, we're going to teach you how to cook a lasagna, no one's going to subscribe to our channel. It's the truth, right? No one wants to see us cook. Or if I'm going to say, I'll teach you how to play poker, they're not going to be interested. As soon as sex is involved, Shiley or Jordan having sex on camera, subscribe, there's your $20, let me see that. $50 for the video, there's a $50, let me see that, you know, so.
Lilin minn filmati pornografiċi hemm dawk ukoll li qed jaqilgħu l-għajxin tagħhom permezz ta' ritratti meqjusa sexy u xi ftit jew wisq espliċiti. Emily Jones hija waħda minnhom.
I would say that there was a series of events that led me up to that point. I hadn't been working for a few years. I had some problems with my health. I suffer from an invisible disability, a chronic pain condition called inflammatory arthritis and fibromyalgia. And it got to the point where I couldn't go to work anymore. And my doctors basically said, you know, you can't keep doing that anymore. And so I lost my job. So for a while I was out of work. And then my mum fell ill, seriously ill. That kind of just flipped my whole world upside down, really. And sort of from there, I found myself at a point in life where I was thinking, what am I going to do with myself now, you know? Still a young woman, plenty of life ahead of me, and hadn't been working for a while. So from that, I started my Instagram page, which was, for me, a bit of a kind of unexpected success, let's say. So my page grew really quickly, and I developed a really strong following pretty much from the start. And I started having people requesting or asking for some different content, some more content, some sexier content. I kind of made a rule with myself that I would only ever do what I felt comfortable doing. I wouldn't kind of push my limits past what I felt good doing. So I actually feel that you can be very much in control of your content, and it's a nice way to get closer to your audience.
Is it a bit weird having an OnlyFans account and the boyfriend at the same time?
Well, I met my boyfriend just at the very kind of start of my social media career. So he's kind of been with me through the ups and downs of things. We've discussed lots of things together about what would be the right kind of moves to make. And one of my favourite expressions that I always like to say, that I've kind of made up myself, is that, you know, I say, is looking at a slice of pizza the same as eating a slice of pizza? What do you think, Liam?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Certainly my dietitian wouldn't say so. It's like, as I say, I don't push any limits that make me uncomfortable, make my partner uncomfortable, and I'm quite happy with how things are going. We are very open with each other. I don't sort of we don't keep secrets from each other, so I think that's kind of really important as well. But I do feel that open communication is important, because it could become a little bit awkward for sure.
If I try to meet someone now, I am always going to have that stigma. It does, I do get judged. I don't really get given a chance to be known as a person before, just like you say. They just know me for that, and that's it pretty much. They don't think of me as like a businessman. They don't think of me academically. They don't think of me as, they think of me just like taking the easy way out sort of thing to earn easy money. And I get it, you know.
Some would argue like you took the easy way.
100%. And I would agree with them if that was the only thing I had to offer. But like I was saying to you the other time, I got my City and Guilds MVQs. I was a semi-professional poker player. I've done Forex trading. I've got my own business here, like I got the healthy kiosk. So yeah, I mean, if that was my only means and the only way I could make money, then I'd say, yeah, like I sold out.
And I get that OnlyFans is a platform where people can request stuff from you as a content creator. Could you walk us through some of the weirdest stuff you got requested?
Whatever you could fantasize in your head, we probably got asked about. I mean, my most, the one that affects me the most still to this day is when I remember them asking to put the tongue piercing of my partner into like, into that poor little thing. So, yeah, I mean, we got offered threesomes. We got offered 15,000 euros to have a threesome as well, which, I mean, in a relationship, that's hard. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like you do think about the money. That's like 7,500 euros in your hand for potentially 1 hour. But if you look at it from like an emotional side, you know, from an intimate side, it is a bit hard to accept these things if you go down that road. But they are there. They do ask you to do these things. They do ask for meetups. They do ask for all sorts, you know.
Definitely, there's a big market for foot content. Lots of people seem to like feet. But I don't really mind that kind of thing. I kind of think to myself, I'm not going to be a kink shamer. If somebody's interested into something, then why not? I think my worst request was somebody who wanted some content of me, let's just say, using the bathroom. So that was something where that was a little bit of a stranger request and something that I wasn't really happy to do. But as I say, I really have that kind of relationship with my subscribers where they can ask for what they like. As I say, I don't kink shame anybody, and then if I don't want to do something, you know, I don't have to. I think that's a big part of the niceness of the one of the more positive things about the platform is that you do what you want to do and what you think sexy and fun. I've had some subscribers before asking for certain content, like maybe having the camera position down on the floor, and it's kind of like, I believe they call it giantess content. So like, for example, subscribers who really like the idea of a very empowering large woman. So it's kind of interesting to see where people get their, you know, what people's preferences are.
What would you say, like, to someone who's interested going down this career path?
I would honestly say, like, don't make it your main means of income. Don't go down this road expecting that it's going to be easy and that you're gonna, you know, you have to expect all the negative that comes with it. Like, yes, there is potential to make good money, but if you can't accept what else comes with that, don't go down it. I would definitely recommend having like a good education, having some kind of qualification behind to fall back on, because you don't know how long this is gonna last, and there might be another regulation in the future that says like no nudity completely. So I would.
L-esperjenzi ta' Emily u Jordan huma reali u għalkemm jidhru li mhumiex sforzati f'dan ix-xogħol, hemm min huwa tal-opinjoni li dan huwa prostituzzjoni f'forma oħra u għalhekk sfruttament.
Il-ħsara ssir għax dejjem iridu iktar, il-clients mhumiex kontenti li qed jaraw, allura dejjem jitolbu d-demand iktar. Fil-verità mhux vera jagħmlu dak l-ammont ta' flus li jgħidu, huma n-nisa li huma popolari ħafna li jagħmlu l-flus, għax fil-verità l-aħħar studji li saru jekk jagħmlu 120 sterling a month, ġifieri, fuq OnlyFans. Għandek 130 million users fuq, ġifieri. Inti dejjem id-demand, jekk għandek id-demand, dejjem bniedem ħajibqa' jipprova.
Ġifieri jiena nista' qed nagħti das-servizz qed jgħinni fil-konfidenza tiegħi jista' jkun ukoll illi jiena inħossni tajjeb illi għandi nies illi qed iħossu li għandhom bżonn nieħa li ġismi qed jiġi apprezzat, għalfejn le. Dajjina mandilħat li qed jisfurzani nagħmel dak ix-xogħol, dajjina mandilħat li qed wara l-kamera qed jisfurzani nagħmel dik ix-xena, hija empowerment. Il-problema ta' ħafna ħanaqbad mal-kamp feminist forsi ftit iżejjed, però il-problema ta' ħafna mill-kamp feminist li jgħidulek body empowerment, body autonomy, fejn jidħol l-abort u fejn jidħlu il-pro-choice, però mbagħad wara hawnhekk neħħejnih il-body autonomy. Jiġifieri nista' nażel fuq ġismi fejn jidħol il-pro-choice. Tajjeb. Imma mbagħad wara ma nistax nażel fuq ġismi, ma nistax nażel dak li nagħmel jien b'ġismi fil-kamp tas-sess.
Well, I think it can be super empowering. I think, for women to be making their own money in the first place, is always something that we want to encourage. We want to encourage women to be financially independent. I do think that there are a lot of pitfalls when it comes to OnlyFans, and I think that people have to be very aware of those things and not just think it's... I feel that a lot of people think that it's just a case of, putting some sexy pictures up, whatever, and you're going to make tens of thousands of dollars, and that's just not how it is. It's a lot of work. It's definitely a lot of risk. Your privacy is compromised. And you have to be very aware of the reputation that kind of work has. But really the idea of being able to work for yourself, doing things on your own time, and also making money from your femininity, it's kind of, I feel that it's a very empowering thing. I also think it's quite interesting that on OnlyFans you can create content for marginalized bodies. So myself being somebody who, doesn't have the typical model's figure, I would never really have ever dreamt about, being in, let's say, a sexy shoot for Playboy or something like that. It's just, you don't see that type of body, my type of body, in mainstream media. So this is kind of a way of, what would I say, kind of challenging the status quo, let's say.
I mean, I feel like it comes down to the individual. Like some people, like you say, their opinion might be that they're being objectified. I'll be honest, with me, I kind of feel empowered by it. I understand that I'm being looked at only as like a sexual object, but when I have people coming up to me and saying like, oh, like you've broke a taboo here, or like you've helped us open up, and that also makes me feel empowered. Feeling wanted makes me feel empowered. All right, it's not always for the right reasons, but again, I take the good with the bad. So again, I understand where they're coming from, but also I feel like people should have the freedom to make their own choices.
Iżda li lid mill-industrija lokali tal-pornografija, hemm dawk li jebnu li jeħtieġ diskussjoni serja dwar l-aċċess għall-pornografija.
I think, of course, if you go with the suggestion that everybody is being groomed, of course it's problematic. Of course that raises many, many questions. As an educator, though, I would go back to my earlier point that we need to have a conversation in Malta about sexual politics, about the politics of desire and sexuality, critical conversations, rather than a moralizing conversation that tells young people what they can and cannot do with their bodies.
Illum il-ġurnata studji internazzjonali, mhux Maltin, juru illi saħansitra tfal ta' 9-8 snin qed jaċċessaw il-pornografija. Ġifieri jien għandi tifla ta' 8 snin illi qed titgħallem l-ewwel darba fuq is-sess mill-pornografija. Fejn aħna rridu nagħmlu ċert illi l-ewwel kuntatt mal-ħajja sesswali, ġifieri l-ewwel informazzjoni li ħadd taċċessa t-tifel it-tifla il-persuna hija mill-familja, hija minn post safe jew mill-għalliema. Għandna ġenerazzjoni li bażikament qed ħares lejn ir-relazzjonijiet bħala din ir-relazzjoni sabiħa għal xi wħud tal-pornografija. Ġifieri wieħed li qed jara l-intimità bħala dik li jara fil-pornografija li r-riċerka turina, id-dinja turina li din mhijiex l-idea reali tas-sess. Ġifieri tfal qed nurruhom milli jisma' dak huwa s-sess li tkun tesperjenza fil-futur.
We have our issues in Malta. It's, every context is very particular, and I think yes, I don't think we speak freely about sex in Malta. There is a lot of shame still around it, and we need to create spaces for young people, because if they don't learn from within a safe space, they're going to learn elsewhere through pornography. If the only conversation I can have is about sex is through porn, then it's a very limited conversation that I'm having, and it's a very limited understanding I'm having about sex. If that's the only context that I can engage in.
Mhux qed ngħidlek ejja morru fl-iskejjel nitkellmu fuq is-sex work ta' it-tfal ħandarruhom ninkellmuhom fuq modi safe ta' kif ikollhom is-sess ma' persuni oħra. Ħatgħinhom ukoll meta jikbru jibdew ikollhom xi relazzjonijiet sesswali. Is-sess issir xi ħaġa pożittiva, jiġifieri hija problematika li jien għandi tfal ta' xar snin disa llum il-ġurnata li qed jaċċessaw pornografija, qed jaċċessaw OnlyFans, li qed isibu din l-informazzjoni sesswali, jiġifieri diġà rridu naraw x'inhi r-root cause. Il-problema mill-eruq tagħha li qed wassal dawn it-tfal li diġà qed ifittxu informazzjoni fuq siti online.